Half myth and half rumour, the elemental realms are nearly impossible for mortals to reach because of the barriers erected by their guardians. Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Azurik, Rise of Perathia. Why did I just read to you that thing? Wow, that's really loud. Why did I just read to you that thing about the guardians? Because today is going to be a pretty fun episode in which we encounter one of these guardians. The idea is all these realms we've been going to, they all have like a great defender, someone who was appointed to, you know, sort of keep them in check, I suppose. But because everything's in chaos right now, they're kind of off duty, shall we say. And we're going to be encountering the Water Guardian in this episode, and I wanted to just sort of add that little bit of lore there. So, our adventure begins, however, in the Fire Realm. Jump into the Fire Spout to travel across the Fire Realm and claim your first power. The air... No, we're not going to claim a power or anything right now. We are going to be getting the third fragment of the Water Disc. Do you guys remember... when we were in the Water Realm previously, one of the earlier times we were in the Water Realm, we were in that trench deep underwater so that we could go into a pipe to the stormy air, to the stormy Water Realm and claim that like extra obsidian. Do you remember that? And do you remember how just outside of that pipe, I showed you a seal that needed 3 fragments of the disc to pass? Those seals are what are keeping us away from the Guardian. And the third water seal has been available to us for a while. It's been available to us since we got our earth power the first time, which was quite a while ago, if you remember now. It was when we were last here in the Fire Realm. But I kind of put it off to now because I wasn't sure if we needed greater powers or anything. I have confirmed that we don't, though. So we're going to go back to this tower. Do you remember this? And how I said last time that going up to the top of the tower would be useless to us? It's not anymore, not now that we've got earth. There's actually a smash barrier level 1 here. So we're looking at earth, fire and air together to create smash on our axiom. We're going to blow our way through it. And just on the other side, lovely over here, in fact, I should have shown you this as we first came into the region because it's so obviously in sight, is the third disc, the third fragment of the water disc. Really, really cool and pretty easy to find, actually. So now what we want to do is go back. I didn't kill those elementals, so instead of going that way, I'm going to go over here because the Blaze Sentinels are far easier to fight. I don't know, even now that we even have the weakness to the fire elementals now that we got earth, because their weakness is ice, if you remember. But even still, I prefer fighting the Blaze Sentinels because they don't move in such an odd, scary way. But now that we've got that fragment, you see, we've got 3, we can actually pass through that seal. This is, most certainly, this video is not like, an efficient way to play the game. You wouldn't find any real guide suggesting you do this right now. But I do think in terms of the pacing of, you know, the story and stuff, it makes way more sense that I do it now. We actually get to see us come back through this area of the Fire Realm. Do you remember we walked through, to get to the Fire Realm the first time we came through this cave, but we never had to go back through it because we ended up in the Water Realm on our way back out? Well, now we get to see sort of the other side and backtracking through here. So this isn't efficient. There's a lot of backtracking and running around, but I want to show it to you anyway, and because that's the essence of this game. Backtracking and running around, like there really is no other way to put it. We do have 40 obsidians, excuse me, but we're going to be coming to the town a second time in this video, so I'm actually not going to bother going up to the tower because the game will deal with that for us. I'm going the wrong way. We're headed to the Water Realm. So yeah, don't worry, we do have 40 obsidians. We are going to get a cool upgrade. I'm actually really looking forward to the upgrade today. Really looking forward to it. Because all these ideas of, you know, our powers, have they been doing more damage to enemies as we level them up and stuff, like, it's not going to matter. It's going to be great. But yeah, so I might actually just cut it, guys. We're going to go back to the Water Realm, back across this bridge. We've seen this backtrack many times. And we're going to go to the Whirlpool, basically, or very near to the Whirlpool. So I'll see you guys there. Funnily enough as well, guys, this episode pretty much marks, for the main story stuff, 100% completion of the Water Realm. But we still haven't got that obsidian over there, like the first obsidian we've ever laid our eyes on, we still don't have. And we won't have it for a while either, like, I love that. We really are going to have most of the Water Realm utterly complete. Do you remember that weird temple place in the Ice Realm that I couldn't quite remember? I thought I wasn't going to make that jump there. That I couldn't quite remember whether I'd been there before. Oh, come on, what are you doing there? Did I need air power to jump that? No, I didn't. Alright, there we go, we're back. We're through this teleport. I can't even remember what I was saying. Yeah, I do remember what I was saying. That area in the Ice Realm, do you remember that temple off in the distance? I said, I can't really remember when we really go there. It's for good reason. We're going to be going there this episode. See, that temple, and I had my suspicions that this was the case. Hold on, don't let me fiddle about like this. What we're looking for is the gorge down, but not the gorge to the base where we fired the torpedo, the second gorge, which is going to be over there. Yeah, so I didn't quite remember when we were meant to go to that temple, but that's actually where we're about to head right this second. Very, very cool, actually, and that's why I saw it was in the back of my mind, because you go in there, but you don't get to see it from the outside. Anyway, this is this gorge. If you remember, there is a save point here. I would thoroughly recommend you trigger it. The one problem with swimming in this game is you can't, like, swim down. They make you, like, descend ridiculously slowly like this, which is just so frustrating. But we're going to go all the way back down, tap onto this as we did many moons ago. Not really many moons ago. Guys, it's still only been like 5 days since I started playing this game. I'm just relentless with recording. Last time we went through that pipe. This time we're going to go through this seal up here. And as you can see now, we've got 3 fragments of the water disc. And by walking in front of this, we're going to open this up. You know how early on in this LP, and we're going to go through this pipe, and it's actually really cool going through this pipe, because like you zoom through like this. You know how early on in this LP, I was like, oh, they never give you gimmicky reasons why you can't go to places. I feel like I shouldn't have said that, because every time I see something now in this LP that feels kind of gimmicky, I feel like I have to criticize it. But, you know, I think most of it is pretty intuitively designed. That was a bit of an excusey thing. But there are lots of seals all around this world, and all of them require you to have lots of fragments. You know, it's not just a mechanic that comes out of nowhere. It is thoroughly used throughout the game. Anyway, as you can see, we use all these pipes that we've been seeing worming around the place. We actually get to go through those now. And that's quite significant too, because for, you know, your average player who's been seeing them for a long time and no idea when they'll eventually get into them, now they finally do. And this takes you into the icy realm. And here's a boss. Oh my god. They don't change the music in here. I might edit my own music in just so it's a little bit better. This is the Water Guardian. Scary ass thing, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Looks a lot like the water elementals that we've been seeing. And we've already been caught in one of the mechanics of this boss fight. So this boss fight has quite a few mechanics involved with it. First, get a shield up. Earth shield is going to be my choice here. I don't know whether ice shield might be better. There are these bubbles floating around the arena. If you get caught in one, then you're going to get floated around and you can't do anything, and you're just going to get put in harm's way. Around the outsides of the arena, you've got a bunch of script. You're going to need lots of element of the various powers. Since we've increased our air fuel cell, that makes it easier this time than it was on my previous run through. Don't forget, these guys are weak to lava. One combo with the lava hit on the axiom will kill them. You might want to clean out the water elementals, but I'm actually not sure whether they respawn or not. It'd be very curious if they do respawn as the fight's in progress, so mostly I'm just going to be ignoring them. If you have your element, try and avoid the water. She's also going to be firing water spouts at you, so be very cautious of that. There are no pickups to go for. Can you see these tentacles? There are 4 tentacles around the outside of the arena. They're actually made of water, so what do we do to water? We freeze it. If you slam them with water, you see it's got this fantastic effect where loads of the ice abilities just comes out like that. And for a few seconds, it will be frozen. Well, how do you destroy water? Well, we rapidly freeze it, and then we rapidly heat it. So what do we use usually to melt ice? We use our steam power. And by doing that, you can actually cunningly see that the tentacle has shrunk down a little in size. Just head on over to the next one, and we'll try and hit it. Now, this is one area of the game, and there's loads of button mashing in this just because you're swapping your elements so quickly. This is one region of the game where doing the jump slam attack is incredibly useful, because often you'll find that it's out of range. But by doing the jump slam attack and getting right close to the base of where the boss is, you can actually get some good hits in. Because if you go for the end of the tentacle, usually it can be quite hard. So I quite like that. This is one area of the game where it's actually encouraging you to use, you know, varying attacks. Anyway, each tentacle will take 3 strikes. You don't necessarily have to do it in a circular motion like this. I like to do it like this because it makes the rest of the fight rather trivial. These bubbles you can easily avoid. You're not going to have loads of water elementals. I mean, the tentacles, as you can see, are still hitting me. The tentacles are killing the elementals. That's pretty funny. The elementals won't necessarily, you know... oh, crap, I missed that attack. They won't necessarily crowd around you and do lots of damage because you're waiting around on one tentacle for too long. So that's the way I like to do this. And keep going. You can see that they are all slowly shrinking down, shrinking down, shrinking down. If you have found enough obsidians up to this point in the game to increase your health, if you are smart enough to use a shield of some form, you see how much damage my shield's taken, but how much health I've still got remaining, then actually it makes the fight much easier than you'd otherwise expect. There, we've completely destroyed that tentacle there. We're going to destroy... oh, wrong element there. We're going to destroy this one. And I mean, it might look quite simple to you guys on screen, but I'm actually pressing so many buttons here just to keep swapping my elements around. I quite enjoy that. This is essentially the first boss of the game. We could have done this, as I say, when we very first got our first Earth power, which was a long time ago. And I quite appreciate that. In fact, if I could redo this LP, I would have fought her earlier just so that she was a little bit more difficult, because I feel like we're a bit OP for it at the moment. But there you go. We're going to destroy that. That's the last tentacle. Pay close attention to her in the middle. That's her death animation. You don't really get to see it all that much because it didn't put you into cutscene. And we're going to get some cutscenes here, guys. She disintegrates into a fragment of the water disc. Indeed, the final fragment of the water disc. The bubbles actually don't disappear. You can now kill all of the water elementals in peace. And this is the other thing as well. If you want to fight the water elementals in the middle of the fight, then even better. That's another element you're swapping into if you want to do it efficiently. And you can't actually go into the middle of that region, I don't believe. I also don't think there's any obsidians in there. It's a very cool looking room though, right? Very cool. I'm almost 100% sure there's no obsidians in here. You've got like these waterfalls flowing in, like these symbols of the discs, like around in the architecture. Really cool. As we pick up this fragment, it's not like the other fragments. This is actually going to trigger a full-on cutscene for us. So let's grab it. The final fragment of the water disc and completion of one of the realms of Perathia. Aside from obsidians and stuff. So here, look, it actually takes us back to town. Azurik places the water disc back in at the top of the tower. We don't have to backtrack for that. That's really cool. And every time you place a disc back in, the idea that these discs have been destroyed is supposed to be having ramifications on the world. Well, by placing that disc back in, the sinkhole in the middle of the ocean has now been clogged up. What an interesting idea. And we're actually going to start next episode over there. There's not too much there right now, but there is something for us to collect. So we'll start the next episode over there. We're actually going to drop down one floor here. So it's actually really cool now. Obviously, you can see that the water disc is in the tower up there. Very awesome. We're going to drop down a floor. 2 floors? Really? Wow. Okay, I didn't realize it was 2 floors up. Yeah, we're going to drop down 2 floors and spend our 40 obsidians on our next upgrade. And yeah, that's the water realm done. If we now press back, look, we get this cool spinning animation because we've completed that disc. Really, really awesome. We got 2 fragments of the earth disc, 1 of the fire, 1 of the light disc. And actually, on that topic, I've got something else to tell you as well before we go. Here's our next upgrade. And I kind of regret that I didn't press X on this to examine what it was before we had the obsidians, because it's not going to tell us what this was.
Right. New power.
But if you have a look now at our axiom, we now have spikes on it. Look at that. It actually updates the way that the axiom looks. We now got spikes on it. So what does that mean, guys? It means we do more damage. Oh, yes. We do more damage. All these pesky enemies that have been taking just over 1 combo to kill. Not anymore. Oh, my God. Love it. So cool. And the way that it actually upgrades the axiom too, so awesome. So we're going to have that to look forward to. No, wrong lift. Damn it. We're going to have that to look forward to. I suppose I can leave this in since this isn't going to be a particularly long episode, I guess. It's packed with stuff that's happened compared to, other stuff where we're just progressing through realms. But it's not going to be a particularly long one. We're going to descend right to the bottom of the tower so that we can actually save all this progress we've made. And lastly, I want to show you guys one other thing that I haven't actually mentioned in the tower. You know this idea of the seals? And there's like one specific thing that's going to unlock when you have 3 fragments. Like, in theory, we're pretty close to the 3rd disc of the Earth disc now. And do you remember, we've even seen the desert area where supposedly the Earth Guardian resides. But, we're still looking for that final disc there. There's actually a seal in the middle of the temple, in the middle of town. Look at this, right in the middle of here.
You need 3 fragments of the life disc to pass beyond this seal.
Ah, so whatever goes on with the life realm, the life guardian, the life disc, all this stuff that I've been very obscure about, that's going to actually have something to do with the tower. And the air disc as well. We haven't even got a single bit of the air disc and the air realm we've not seen. Like, these are areas of the game that will be available to us later. So there you go, guys. That's everything I wanted to mention for this video. I know it's a shorter one of Azurik, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you next time where we get to start kicking some serious ass. See you next time, everybody. Oh, also, one more thing. Also. Wait, has this always been like this? I believe now that we've got, yeah, it's definitely not always been like this. Now that we've put the disc in, there's all these statues and shrines around the outside of the tower that actually turn on. Look at all these little details in this game. It's so cool. So that one's now turned on and they're just spinning around and pumping water. So awesome. I love it.